What's up, YouTube? This is Bystanderx79. Alright, guys, I'm here today on the official Yu-Gi-Oh page for the OCG because yesterday the newest ban list for the OCG had dropped. It goes into effect on April 1st of this year, and I can tell you this right now. This list is actually pretty exciting. The reason why I like to look at these lists is because it could be very telling on what hits we could possibly be seeing coming on the next TCG ban list, which hopefully should be following the OCG's ban list's activation. So, without further ado, we're just going to stroll down here. We're going to click on this list, and we're going to go through all the different cards that were on this list. So, I'm going to wait for my page to translate, and then we're going to come over here, and these cards are the newly banned cards. Now, the first card, Imperial Order, we already banned this card on our last ban list. To be very honest, with the way decks are being built, just monsters and spells, being able to shut your opponent out of just using one, or at least one half of their deck, it's not a good thing. So yeah, I can understand why this card was banned over in OCG. Over here, Predator for the Anaconda. Now this is a card and a move I expect TCG Konami to be putting into effect on our next ban list. The predominant reason is because DPE is pretty much everywhere. This card is enabling powerful fusion monsters like Dragoon and DPA to run rampant in our metagame. And because Konami is not creating fusion spells that don't have fusion or polymerization in their names, this card is always going to be an issue. It's always going to enable these really powerful fusion monsters to be able to just wreck the meta. And the sooner we get this card out of it, and the more cards we put to try to limit these powerful fusion monsters, I think the better move we're going to be seeing. So definitely, Predator for the Anaconda is definitely one of those cards that I see being hit here on the TCG list. All right, we're going to come down over here. Now, these are the newly limited cards. They're both part of the Adventure Token engine here in the TCG. Now, here's the situation. The Adventure Token engine is something that we just got at the end of January, so I really don't think we're going to be seeing such hard hits against the engine, although with it being splashed in pretty much everything, it does warrant some sort of hit. And the card I think it's going to be hit and put to one is going to be right here. This is right of the Adventure Token or whatever they call it here in the TCG. Putting this card at one really puts a lot more pressure on the Witch being able to search it out. It makes the engine a little bit more vulnerable to effect negation as well as being interrupted by Ash. So yes, I think putting it right to one here in the TCG would probably be the best idea for the engine. You don't have to touch the other cards in it. And it will put the engine into check. It'll still be usable, it's just going to be a little bit harder to use. Cards that were banned and are not limited in the OCG, they initially had Fusion Destiny banned. They put it to one, especially since Verte Anaconda is now banned. That makes sense, but I can actually see Fusion Destiny being put to one here in the TCG as well, even if the TCG bans Verte. The predominant reason is because DPE is just such a powerful card. And interruption. If you ban Verte Anaconda here and not touch Fusion Destiny, we're just going to run the 2 copies of Fusion Destiny we're allowed to, and DPE is still going to be an issue because all we have to do is just hard draw into it. Putting this card at 1 makes it a lot more harder to get DPE onto the field and for you to utilize its effect, reducing the consistency of all the plays that are attached to it. Okay, we're going to come down here. These are the semi-limiteds. These are that went from unlimited to semi-restricted. Okay, so these particular cards, we have Fractal going from unlimited to semi-limited. I think it was originally limited, and then they put it back down to unlimited on the last list. And now it's back to semi-limited. Okay, I can understand this with the OCG metagame. I don't think it's going to be touched here in the TCG. The predominant reason is because Tri-Brigade really isn't that big of a deck here in the current meta. Okay, Pilot of Prosperity. Okay, so this card can only really be utilized in decks that can utilize the meta that they're extra deck but don't really care about it. TCG Konami has not reprinted this card at all. Hopefully, we're going to be getting this card in the Megatons this year, so I don't see them moving against this card at all. If I remember correctly, this is the spell card branded in red. And the Despia and that deck isn't a big deck here in the TCG, primarily because we haven't gotten the Alphabet Structure deck yet. So, yeah, this card is safe until after that Structure deck is released. Scarlet Sanguine, now, this is a card I think that probably will wind up actually getting a semi-limit here in the TCG. Eldritch is being placed in a lot of pile decks, just predominantly because of its removal aspects and having a big beat stick monster as part of the archetype. So yeah, this is something I can actually see and get behind happening here in the TCG, just to try to limit the use of the engine in the pile decks here. So we're gonna come down over here. Now these cards go from restricted to semi-restricted. Okay. There's actually a lot of cards here. So they're going from limited to unlimited. Hard Power, this is something that we've been begging Konami to give us back. Right now here, it's banned here in the TCG. If they're going to wind up walking off another card off the ban list, this Hard Power is going to be one. So them putting Hard Power from 0 to 1 here in the TCG, I hope happens. Wind up Carry as a Mighty. Okay, not bad. I think a lot of players will like to see this card come off. Harmonizing Magician, that card is unlimited here in TCG. Night Assailant, that's also a card that's actually, I think it's limited right now here in TCG. This card can actually start coming off. They can actually unlimit it because nobody's really running flip effect monsters currently in the game. Okay, Trisha, no, I did not see Trisha happening here in the TCG. There are way too many synchro hand loops that can actually just abuse this living hell out of this card. Nope, it has to stay at 1. Beginning of the end. Okay, I can get behind this card starting to move down. Raigeki, we already have this card unlimited here in the TCG, so okay, it makes sense that they're slowly moving it down. Divine Wind of the Mist Valley. Yeah, I can see this card coming off as well. Alright, so these cards were unlimited over in OCG. Okay, both Multi-Faker and Memories of Hope, these cards were not... No. Down. Sorry, my cat's just climbing all over the place. Are unlimited here in the TCG, so they're not moving. A Hero's Live has been walked... It's starting to be walked off here in the TCG, and I got a feeling we're going to probably see this. Metaverse, now this is an interesting card. The OCG has Mystic Mind banned. We don't have Mystic Mind banned, so I don't see this card coming off at all. If they do something to Mystic Mind, fine, but I don't see Mystic Mind being touched predominantly because here in the TCG, we need the Floodgates to stop these crazy combo decks. It's sad, but it is a truth. And just being able to have this card in multiples and run multiple copies of mine, yeah, it's just not a good mix. Alright, but that's it here for the OCG list, and you guys got my opinions about what should be happening here on the TCG list. Guys, expect a TCG ban list sometime this week. I'll get my opinions out on what should be touched, and based on this, as well as a few other cards that I haven't really talked about on this list as well. Guys, as always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss any uploads, guys. Check out the description box below. Find the invite link to my Discord server. Join the conversation. We'd love to have you. Check out my TCG Player affiliate link. Help support the channel. Guys, follow me on social media and Master Duel. And guys, until next time, peace.